Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I'm getting some lights up in here. I think that's better, right? Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of the Business Breakthrough with Barbara show. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you had a good weekend. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I think days like yesterday are like either really good or like really sad for everyone. So I'm sending a lot of love to all of you who may not have been able to be with your loved ones or all of the struggle and sadness that comes with days like that. Also, for those of you who got to spend a nice time with your mom and all of that good stuff, I'm glad that you did. I did as well. Anyway, it is Monday and we are on for our weekly episode. Today, I am talking about 3 simple ways to build long lasting client relationships. And this is more coming from the angle of how do you build relationships with your own one on one clients. But as you guys were voting throughout the week, as to what topic you want to learn about, someone did ask a specific question around building relationships with potential clients versus your own clients. So I want to address that because I thought it was a really, really good question, actually. Um, I forgot exactly how it was worded, but it was somewhere along the lines of like, how do we know when we can message someone and start building a relationship, or like how do we know the that we're ready for like that next step in the relationship? And I think, and if you're here watching this live or the replay and you're the person who asked this question, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you're referring to is like when we are on social media, when we are marketing our services, when we are getting out there and doing the thing, how do we know if we're ready to like actually DM someone and start a conversation? Like, how do we know the relationship is strong enough and all of that good stuff? So I'm going to address that first because I feel like when someone has a question, a lot of you have the same question. um, Hi Emily, welcome. Good morning. Happy Monday. Um, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so the first thing that came to me when I read that was there's a lot of um, doubt and questioning and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Indecision and kind of like tiptoeing around the decision of like, should I message this person? Am I ready to start a conversation? Or like, are they going to think I'm annoying? Or like, is this the right time to do it? And I always say, like, the best piece of advice that I can give you here is it's really not about the time, right? Like it's not about the thing itself. It's not about messaging the person. It's not about what you say to the person. I think oftentimes this boils down to what is your intention when you're messaging the person, right? So, like, if you're actually in the process of building relationships with people online, you're networking, you're building relationships, you are connecting with individuals who could potentially end up being a client of yours. I think when you go into that conversation from the standpoint of like, I need to pitch, I need to sell, I need to do X, Y, and Z, right? Am I ready to do this? Is this the right time? Is this the right way to do it? Then it becomes very triggering and very stressful, and because we're so attached to like a specific outcome, where like, when is it the perfect time for me to reach out? What is the best way for me to send a direct message and me not be pushy, or me do it the right way, or me get the conversion, or me get the client, or make the sale, or all of that good stuff? Now, I get that obviously when you're networking, whether it's online or locally, or when you're building relationships with potential clients and colleagues and all of that good stuff, I get that there is obviously a goal behind it a lot of times. I understand that we're in business and we're here to make money and grow our businesses and all of that good stuff. But I think that it's very hard to build a relationship when all you're thinking about is the self, right? So think about it this way. If you went to a party and you were just like hanging out with your friends and like some people that you didn't know, but you just wanted to socialize, right? Like, you wouldn't think like, when is it the right time for me to like go talk to this person, or like how many messages should I have with a friend of hers before I actually have a conversation, right? Like you would just be like, that chick looks cool, let me just go talk to her and get to know her a little bit more. Or you'll be in line waiting to get your food or whatever, and you'll just turn around and say something funny to the person behind you, right? So when you actually approach direct messaging that way, where it's like, I'm here to get to know you, I'm here, I'm coming from a place of curiosity, I want to know you as a human being, you can literally message someone right away. Like, there's no buildup that needs to happen, there's no specific 1, 2, 3, 4 step process that you need to go through. It really truly is, if your intention is to connect with people and build a relationship with someone, you just go for it. But the trick is your intentionality behind it. Because if your intentionality is like, when is it the best time for me to reach out to someone and build a relationship so that they can turn into my client? Well, now you're not really building a relationship. Now you're just trying to convert someone, which it's okay. You want to think about conversions, you want to think about growth, but it makes it so much harder when that's the only reason that we're trying to reach out. It makes it so much harder because we also create a sense of attachment where it's like, if I do this, I want this to happen. So how can I take that next step in the most perfect way? And then we don't even end up taking the step. Is this making sense? Please let me know in the comment section if it's making sense to you. So that's really from the angle of like, how do I build a relationship with a potential client through direct messaging? And this is based on that question that I got last week. If you asked this question last week, please let me know if I've addressed it in the way that you needed me to. That's kind of what I got from the question. So I hope that I was able to cover your concern or your specific situation. If not, let me know and I will just cover it next time, or I will just answer it in a comment for you. Okay. But now I want to talk about building long lasting relationships with your actual clients, with the clients that you already have, because I think it is such an important thing. I was actually having a conversation with some of my business friends last week, and we were talking about different business models and how each one of us runs and operates our business differently. And their business is completely different to mine because they have a high turnover rate, like, is that how I would say it? Their business model is like, they work with a client, and then more times than not, after that client is done, they have to go get another client. um, there's many reasons for that. It's not that I'm right or they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong. It's just there's different ways of operating your business. My way of operating my business is I actually build really long lasting relationship with my clients. Like, a lot of my client roster right now are people who have been working with me for years and years and years. And it is a beautiful, beautiful way of running a coaching business, because it means that you don't have to constantly go into like a feast or famine cycle of like, I got a client, the client went through the program, after the program is done, now I have to get another client, right? The way that we do this is we build long lasting relationships with our clients. And it is the easiest thing to do. And I think so many people undervalue it. And I think so many people don't really even think about the importance of it. Um, And I always say, happy clients are the most amazing thing that your business can have. Happy clients will sign up with you again. Happy clients will send you referrals. Happy clients will brag about you, give you testimonials, right? Like, so what we want to do, and here's the thing, this is kind of like what I was saying about direct messaging people to build a relationship. We really have to come from a place of wanting to build a relationship with our clients and actually caring about build, like, this is not something that you can force, right? Like, it's not something that I could say like, well, I want my clients to sign on again, so I'm like going to build a relationship for that, right? Like, it doesn't happen that way. It's like, it happens the opposite way. It's like, I actually genuinely care about my clients at a human level, and I'm just here to support them and build the deepest support and the deepest connection that we can possibly build. And then the outcome just naturally happens of like, they loved it working with me and they continue working with me for a really, really, really long time. Or even if they stop working with me, because I have processes that I actually genuinely want to execute without any expectation in return. Let's say a year goes by, I have so many clients come back to me and be like, hey, you know what? I would love to do another round of coaching. But this is because I am constantly building a relationship with my clients as we're working together, and even after we're working together. Like, I am constantly talking to former clients because you really have to be someone that cares. You really have to be someone that wants to do that. You cannot fake this. Like, if you feel at any point of this conversation that this feels like inauthentic, or that you're going to have to push it and force it, then we need to do some work around that, because this is something that should happen really, really naturally. It's not something that it's like a sharky move. It's not like, well, you have to build a relationship with your clients and that's how you're going to make more money. It's like, no, you actually have to care about building the relationship. And then all of the amazing things come from it. But if you do it the opposite way, where it's like, well, I want all these amazing things. And because I want all of these amazing things of my clients working with me for a really, really, really long time, then I'm going to build a relationship. That's not how you build a genuine relationship. Look at real life. If you want someone to be a really good friend, you have to come from the angle of like, I actually care about you. I actually want to put in the effort to be your friend. I actually want to show you how much I care and how much I value you and all of that good stuff. You can't just be like, well, I want you to come with me to this party. And because I want you to come with me to this party, then I'm going to be nice to you. Do you see how that's not going to be long lasting? And do you see how that's probably going to backfire at some point? Okay, so let's get started. The three simplest ways that I build client relationships are, this is really simple, really, really, really simple, but so many coaches are not doing this. Client gifts. Okay, the first thing I do when a client signs up to work with me, the first thing I do is send them a client gift. Okay. I have different levels of client gifts. I have different companies that I use to send out client gifts. But this is the first time that I'm telling them, I am so honored to have joined forces. I am so honored that you have chosen me over the trizillion, quadrillion coaches out there. I am so honored that you've put your trust in yourself and in this relationship. And I want to show you from the very beginning how much I appreciate you and how much I believe in you and how much I love this relationship and um, this journey that we're embarking on together. Okay. So, very simple things. I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, really? You're just going to sit here and tell me to send my clients a gift. But it's not about the gift itself. It's just to get you in the mindset of what it actually takes, like how you actually have to think and operate. If you want to build long lasting one on one coaching relationships with your clients, you have to think and operate from a place, I actually love and care about this individual. I'm not just here to take their money. And look, I just want to be very clear. If you've seen any of my other live streams, I am all about making money. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with charging for the work that you do. There is nothing wrong for wanting to build a wildly successful, profitable business. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is a little bit more of like this is a live stream where I'm leaning less into that, okay, and more into the fundamentals and the essence of what it takes in order to do that. But I just want to let you know that it's not that you don't want to think about money. It's not that you shouldn't get excited about the payment. It's that in order to build that lasting link with the person that you're working with, you have to come at it from this angle. Making sense so far? Let's see. You have to really focus on making sure your intentions are genuine and wanting to build a relationship. If you want that, it will happen. It sounds like yes, yes. So what you just said, really focus on making sure your intentions are genuine and wanting to build that relationship. Okay, this is what I'm kind of like leaning into the idea of like, if this is not feeling authentic to you, then we either have to do some work around it or, kind of like explore like what's not feeling authentic about it, or this just may not be an approach that you want to take, right? Like you may want to operate from a different angle, and that's totally fine. like I am all for customization. I am all for everyone running businesses from their own strength. And if this is just something that doesn't feel authentic to you, totally fine. This is just how I've always run my business. And I think I've gotten better and better at it. And I think in turn, things have gotten better and better because of it, right? But it was never like, I want to reach like multiple high six figures and therefore I'm going to be nice to my clients. It was more of like, I literally love and care about my clients, their success, their results. I care about them as a human being on a human level. And because of that, then all of this happened. Okay. Okay. So client gifts, super simple way, extremely simple. It literally takes like what, $15 for a very basic gift and like 20 minutes of your time. I guarantee you, most coaches are not out there doing that. They're not. Trust me, I've worked with a lot of coaches, but it is a detail. It's not about the thing itself. It's about the energy that you are like portraying and showcasing and sending with it. It's the I believe in you, I care about you, I'm here for you, let's do this. Okay. So that's already starting your journey on a very, very positive note. The second very simple thing that I do is calendar everything in. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is really hard. I still struggle with it. I have a whole system for it, and I still miss dates all the time. I miss clients' birthdays. I miss clients' kids' birthday, right? Like I still miss it, and I'm still working on it. But something I've been trying to do a lot more is all special dates, right? Write them in my calendar repeatedly, not just this year, but for every year that's to come. Because next year, when it's my client's birthday, whether they're working with me or not, it's still going to pop in my calendar and I'm still going to check in on them and wish them the happiest day ever, right? I've I'm even known to like give like a free birthday coaching session or something like that and stuff like that. But you cannot build a lasting relationship with someone that's off your mind, right? Most coaches, what they will do, hi Jackie, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here. Just so you know, just for anyone that's joining live, we are talking about building long lasting relationships with one on one clients. At the very beginning, though, I talked a little bit more about like how to build a relationship through DM with a potential client. So if you're interested in kind of like knowing my insight on that, once we're done, go back to the very beginning and check that piece out. So right now we're in step number two, which is calendar everything in. You cannot build a long lasting relationship with someone that you're never thinking about. And here's the truth, we are all super busy. We all have our own family, we all have our own life, our own health issues, our own, like, we are all human beings living a human experience. So it's really easy for a client to be done with you and then you forget about them. And it's not because you don't care about them, it's not because anything other than you literally just forgot about them. I mean, geez, like it's even hard for me to keep up with like my own family's birthday and my own family's special dates, or even sometimes I'll go like weeks without thinking of my uncle because he's like in Spain, right? So you have to write it down. They need to be able to like pop up every once in a while so that they are top of mind, so that you actually think about them and you can keep nurturing that relationship even with your busy lifestyle, even if you're booked out with other clients, even if you have a crazy season in life, right? Like, or even if you haven't talked to them in years, it's still gonna pop in your calendar. So like, write down birthdays, write down anniversaries. I sometimes even write really special dates. Like, let's say my client sent me a message on Slack and they're like, I finally hit like my first like multiple 5 figure year. I'm so excited. What a beautiful day. Like I will write like their multiple 6 figure anniversary and be like, hey, remember this day when this happened? So little tiny things that make the biggest difference, like literally the biggest difference. Okay. Now, the third one is less about what you do for them and more about what you do for you. Okay. So here's the thing. Yes, we are in the business of humans and we are in the business of connection and we are in the business of support. Um, so obviously, gifts, calendaring dates, remembering them, messaging them every once in a while, actually caring about them is a big thing. But the reality of it is your clients also hire you to do a job. Okay. I always want you guys to remember that because I think oftentimes that gets forgotten. Let's see. Okay. Janie, can you tell me if I'm saying your name right? Is it Janie or Janea? Can you please tell me how to say your name specifically so I'm not mispronouncing it? But I think you asked the question about how to reach out through DMs. I covered it a little bit at the beginning of this live stream, but I actually want to make sure that I cover the right thing. So can you tell me exactly what you meant by that? Do you mean like when you are talking to a potential lead? Like, do you mean, like, just tell me a little bit more insight on that question to make sure that I actually cover the right thing. But I'm actually so happy to see you here. Because I really wanted to address the right thing because I feel like when one person has a question, everyone else has the same question. Okay, so thank you. Love the idea of client gifts. I do mugs, teas, and journals for a few coaches to send one-on-one gifts as well as pay in full bonus type of gifts. I love that. Super simple thing that most people are not doing. Next thing is calendar things in. I would worry I was bothering them by reaching out to them again, but I guess people don't feel that way, and I guess I wouldn't either. I need to get better at looking at my calendar. That's so cool. Okay, beautiful. So let's address that worry about like, what if I'm bothering them? Um, Try to put yourself on the other end of the spectrum. Okay, so let's pretend you're the coachee. Let's pretend you're working with a coach. Okay. Um, what do you think feels worse? Does it feel worse that you give your money to someone, you open up to them, you share so much, you go through so much together, and then once you're not paying them anymore, that person never talks to you again? Or, or what if you're the coachee? You have a coaching relationship with someone, you open up with someone, you go through so much together, and then all of a sudden 6 months go by after you stop working with them, and they're like, hey, I know it's your birthday. I just wanted to wish you the happiest day ever. I hope you're doing amazing. I love checking in on you. Let me know if you need anything and have a great day. Um, I think most of the time that's just like a story that we're telling ourselves, like, oh my God, we're bothering the other person. But I think it's more bothersome. Like, I think the opposite end of the spectrum is more bothersome than anything else, which is you work with someone, they never care about you again. You work with someone, once you're not paying them anymore, they don't care about you ever again. Does that make sense? Um, Also, it depends as well as how you're doing it, right? Like if you're like, hey, happy birthday, haven't talked to you in a year, just wanted to make sure that you didn't need any coaching anymore. Would you like to join forces again and go on a one, like that's a little bothersome, right? Where it's like, what are you talking about? We haven't talked in forever. Like you're just like reaching out for my birthday as an opportunity to pitch, right? So again, it goes back to my initial point, which is like the intentionality needs to be very clean. The intentionality needs to be very genuine, right? Like you actually have to want to be like, hey, oh my God, I adore you as a human being. I am so excited that you are on this earth for another year. Let me just let you know how happy I am for you and how much I wish that you have an amazing day. Okay. Can the conversation end up in, oh my God, I was thinking of hiring a coach again? Or can the conversation end in a sales conversation or a potential let's work again together conversation? Yes. Should the main intention be that? No. That's when it feels like pushy, bothersome, not genuine. And that's when it's a little bit weird. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Well, that definitely makes it clear. I would like them reaching out. Like I don't just disappear to them. Yeah, exactly. And I had one coach who taught me this. Um, that wasn't my best coaching experience because we had so many values that didn't align with each other. But that's one thing that she was super like adamant about. She's like, why are people not reaching out to their clients after they're done working with them? Okay. Now, I didn't like the way she did it because she would do it from a space of like she just wanted to make another sale from me. But I really like the idea of like like you have to continue building relationships forever and ever and ever because that's how you don't go in feast and famine, because that's how you actually love the people that you're working with. That's how you actually enjoy the work that you're doing. That's how you actually like are not just thinking about like how do I make a sale, or like after this person is done, peace out, right? Like I feel really fortunate to be able to run a business that I enjoy. And the reason why we run businesses that we enjoy is because we run them in a way that we enjoy them, right? So I really do care about humans, and I really do care about the people that I love. And taking that extra step to build a long lasting relationship with people, it's not really, it doesn't necessarily have to come from a place of like, I want to make another sale. It actually has to come from a place of like, this makes me happy. This makes me fulfilled. Like, this is a human that I probably work with for 6 months at a minimum. At a minimum, even people who I work with for 6 weeks, like at a minimum, we spent 6 weeks of your life together. You shared so much with me that you probably didn't share with anyone else. You told me your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. We coach around so much, right? And it makes me so happy to be able to go back and be like, hey, I loved that I was a part of your journey. How are you doing? I loved and adored that I was able to impact your life. Happy birthday. I'm so happy to see your name pop up. And I'm so happy that you're enjoying another year of life. That makes the work that you do fulfilling, like extremely fulfilling. Um, anyway, I digress a lot on this live streams. Um, okay, so the last thing, it's not about what you can do for them, it's more about what you can do for you, okay, to continue to build long lasting relationships with clients. Clients are hiring you for a reason. And I never want to forget that. And I never want you to forget that. They are hiring you so that you can help them lose weight. They are hiring you so that you can help them play the piano. They are hiring you so that you can help them grow a business, or so that you can help them get a better job, right? So, like, there is a purpose as to why they're hiring you. Okay. Now, if we want those client relationships to go on for a longer time, for a longer period of time, we also have to focus on our own self mastery. Okay. And the reason why is because now this is thinking a little bit more about like long term uh, one-on-one client relationship, in the sense of like, this is what's going to help you continue to help them. And therefore, that's what's going to help them continue to want to work with you. So this is more coming from the angle of like, the more that you work in your self mastery, and the more that you expand your skills, and the more that you practice what you preach, and the better that you get at coaching, and the better that you get at the work that you do, right? The more that you're working within yourself, for yourself, in your own growth, so that you can be a better coach, the more that your clients are going to want to continue that paying relationship. Okay. So, first two things is connect with your clients in a human level. It's really to get you into the mindset of like, how can I think about them? How can I let them know that I care about them? How can I um, be go above and beyond compared to like what most people won't do for the people that you work with? And this is more of like, how can I make sure that I am offering and delivering an extraordinary coaching experience, and I am enhancing my skills and my capacity to serve, so that my clients don't feel like signing up with me again or continuing our work together becomes stale, right? Like, how can I make sure that my coaching doesn't get stale, or stagnant, or boring, or repetitive? And listen, a lot of coaching is repetition. Like, I just told you, I worked with so many of my clients for years and years and ends, and I promise you, we're going through repetition all the time. It's not about like, how can we do something new every single time? It's about how can you get better at what you do, better at what you do, better at what you do. A lot of it obviously comes with practice, time, experience, and all that good stuff. But you always want to keep your mind open as to like, how can I make this better for my clients, right? Like, what can I do? Little things. Let me give you an example. So when I work one on one with people, I use something called Slack, which is a software that we use to communicate every single day. So, like, my clients, they don't just coach with me once a week and then I'll see them next week. It's like we coach once a week, and that's like barely scratching the surface of the work that we do. Like, the actual work happens in between sessions. So, we're constantly chatting, communicating, I'm supporting them, reviewing their work, and all that good stuff. So, little things that enhance your coaching is what keeps that experience super fresh, super enticing, and it makes clients want to be by your side for a really long time. So I started to realize that a lot of my clients, um, they either sometimes feel like they're bothering me because they're not really used to a coaching experience like that. They're not used to like being able to reach out to someone that much and have so much accessibility to them. Or it's just they're not used to the habit of reaching out to someone, right? So for a really long time, I would just expect my clients like, hey, when you need help, just reach out. When you need help, just reach out. And then as a good coach who's constantly developing self mastery in your business as a coach and all that good stuff, you want to catch these little gaps, right? And this is what's going to really help that coaching experience be super fresh and just naturally make them want to continue, right? So catch the gaps. So the gap for me was, okay, I have this amazing level of support that most people don't have. Now, people are not reaching out because they either feel like they're bothering me or they're just not used to doing it, right? Like it's just not a habit. They're going through their day to day, they're running their business and whatever, and they're just like not thinking of reaching out to me. Um, so what you do is you find that gap, you find that thing that where your coaching could be better or where something is not working at the level that you want it to work, and then you fix it, you change it, you find a solution for it. So what I do now, and I've been doing for months, I think even maybe over a year now, is client check-ins. So every Friday I take in with my clients and I ask them like, give me a recap of your week. What went well? What are we celebrating? What have you accomplished? Where have you seen progress, right? So we're ending the week with them giving me a little update and with also celebrating all the good things that are happening in their business. Okay, really cool. Most people don't do that. And then Monday, I do another client check in, which is a little bit more intense, where it's like, what are you focusing on this week? What are we calling in? What goals do you have? What are you struggling with? What do you need support around? And all that good stuff. Again, this sounds so simple, guys. This sounds so simple. And I know some of you may be rolling your eyes, even like, really? Like, I just watched this for a whole hour and that's all you're telling us. But I promise you, it's this tiny little things that make a huge difference, not just in your business, not just in the results that you can help your clients generate, not just in the way that you operate and how people see you and how people perceive you, but also in building those relationships that last for a really long time, but also in creating an experience that makes clients be like, yes, I'm on. Like, I swear, I have like 4 clients who are just like, don't even ask me when we're done. Like, just assume that we're doing this until I say otherwise. But that's because you constantly have to be enhancing yourself. You constantly have to be thinking of ways of like, how can I serve them better? How can I support them better? You have to see like, what are my clients struggling with, right? Like, what's not working for them and all of that good stuff. Like, you just want to be top of mind so that you can structure and restructure and tweak and add things to your own experience that makes people want to continue on for a while, right? It's kind of like even like in a relationship, right? Like if you do the same thing over and over again, like it can get a little boring, right? Like if you like wake up every day, you have breakfast, you go to sleep, you watch the same show at night. This happened a little bit through the pandemic where it's like you watch the same show at night, you do the same thing tomorrow, you go for a walk and it's like the same thing, 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 right? Like it's not like you're going to quit the relationship, but it doesn't make you like motivated to like be like, wow, this is exciting. Like, yes, there's always something new on the horizon, right? So it's a little bit like that, like even with a friendship or anything, like you want to just make sure that it's always like spiced up and there's new things and the other person is showing you love in different ways. And it's the same idea with your own clients, with your own one-on-one clients. All right, let's see. What do we have for comments? That's also more you can offer them too if you develop more skills to serve them. Exactly. And then you can market them. So, boom, boom, 2 things in one. Being proactive and reaching out is so key. I can say from personal experience, people feel that way. Seeing the coach take a leadership role like that is very encouraging. It's definitely very simple things that count. Yes, that I love that you bring that up. This is the other thing. Not only are you building a relationship that lasts for a really long time, but also you're taking a leadership role. I'm glad that you brought that up because that's really, really important too. You're taking initiative, you're taking a leadership role, right? Like that is truly again, this is coming from a place of intention. Like, we're not doing this so that the client signs up over and over again. That just happens naturally. Like, that it happens effortlessly. You're doing this because it's your business and you want to be the best coach ever. And you want to make sure that you're serving people at the best level that you possibly can. And that you're showing up as a leader and that you're showing up in power and that they feel that, right? So, inevitably when you do that, like, your clients are going to want to continue with you, they are going to see more results, they are going to see more progress, they are going to enjoy that journey, and they're going to want to invest more and more, right? So like ultimately that just naturally happens. It's not something that, oh, I'm going to do this so that that happens. No, it's just like, I'm going to do this so I become really, like, really, really good at what I do. And I'm the best coach in the market. And then ultimately, that is going to ripple out without you even thinking about it, without you trying to force it and all of that good stuff. But one of the most important things that you can do for your clients is show up as a leader, right? They're higher, and it's not like you're better, it's not that they're less, it's never like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's that they want someone that can lead them where they want to go. If they didn't want someone that they can lead them where they want to go, they would probably hire their best friend, right? Like I could just think of, like, if they just wanted someone to be like, yeah, good job, you can do this, right? Like, and that only, then I would just call my best friend and be like, hey, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z. Can you help me? She'll be like, of course, Barbs, you can totally do this. I believe in you. And like, not really show up as a leader for that experience. That is what sets you apart. That is why you are an expert. And that is why you can help people generate more change than anyone else. So I love that you brought that word up, because it's also something that happens simultaneously as you are trying to build that relationship and become better at coaching. Let's see, Jackie says, we often overcomplicate things, but if we just be our best human and keep it simple, we will get much further. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Um, Really, it's simple things, simple things, right? Um, I'm like the queen of overcomplicating things, and then I have to literally talk to all my business friends or my coach, and they're like, "What are you doing?" But it really is very, very simple things that will help your client experience better, that will build deeper relationships with them, that will help them get better results and all of that good stuff. Like, seriously, client check-ins. Like, you would say, like, you literally just told me to ask my clients a question on Friday and ask my clients a question on Monday. Like, that's what I just spent the last, how long? 41 minutes of my life talking about. And I'm like, yeah, because you have no idea how much that actually is going to help your clients. Like, me pulling them into Slack and me asking them, what are you struggling with? What is going on? And me, like, getting them into coaching in between the week has helped so many of them have breakthroughs, navigate difficult things that they would have otherwise not share with me, celebrate things that they were achieving and they were just like passing by and not acknowledging that they were experiencing, right? Like, it also helps them see, like, I actually have a coach that's here for me at all times. So it is the simple things that count. Okay, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up here because this actually ended up being a lot longer than what I expected. But I want to know, do you have any additional questions? What are your thoughts on this topic? I know it's a little bit different than what we usually talk about. We usually talk about like marketing, exposure, creating offers, like all the strategic, quote unquote, strategic things of growing a business. We talk a lot about mindset and confidence. This was a little bit of a different angle, but I was excited to cover it because a few of you were really interested in it. But I also want to know if you want me to go deeper into that initial question of how do you build relationships with non-clients, with people who are not clients yet. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to maybe add that to next month's topics. I'm always happy to cover what you need the most. That's why I'm here for, right? Like I know all this stuff. I'm here for you. Um, so yeah, definitely let me know if you want me to cover that angle as well. Let me know if you have questions. I will see you next Monday. Let's see, Jackie says, I'm going to marinate on this. My one-on-one client just finished with made a comment about me being a friend that she pays, and that brought up some yucky feelings. Ooh, okay. If you want, message me about this. We can definitely have a little conversation about it. Um, yeah, I'm happy to help you process this, see what's coming up, and all that good stuff. So just send me a message and we can chat more. Or you can post it in the comments if you feel comfortable with. But I don't know if that was a little bit of a deeper conversation that you didn't want to share. But anyway, I'm here for you. I'll see you next Monday. Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I adore you. Next Monday, 10 a.m. One more thing. One more thing. I've had at least 5 people reach out to me asking me if I can change the time of the show. Um, I'm not exaggerating. Last week alone, I had like 5 people reach out to me and be like, "Can you please change the time? It doesn't work for me." And you can always watch the replay, but it seems like a lot of people want to make it live and they just can't because it's Monday at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I would love to know, does this time work for you? Does another time work for you? Do you like this time? Do you prefer another time? Give me some insight here, guys, because I am more than happy to move things around to serve more of you, especially when I'm getting so much demand for the change. But I really want to know where everyone is at with this. Mondays in the morning? Do you prefer Mondays in the evening? Do you prefer another day? Like, just give it to me. Put it on the table because that will be super helpful. Okay, now I'm leaving. Bye, everyone.